Welcome to Decoding Ancient Technologies, where every ruin tells a story.
The truth about interstellar object 3I/Atlas. You are standing in the control room of a high-altitude observatory, surrounded by the hum of cooling fans and the glow of monitors.
Deep space is usually predictable, a clockwork mechanism of gravity and mass. NASA has labeled it a comet, a ball of dirty ice. But your data tells a different story.
Do you ever wonder if impossible is just a word we use for a technology we were never meant to understand? Before we penetrate the outer layers of this monumental archive, take a moment to engage with the data.
Let us know where you're watching from in the comments, and if you truly believe we are the only intelligence in this universe.
Now, let's journey back and look up to deconstruct the narrative of a lost world.
The official report says it originated from the Oort cloud. But look at the eccentricity of its orbit. Focus your attention on the trajectory data on the screen. A natural comet follows a long, elliptical loop, bound to our sun's gravity like a dog on a leash.
This object, its orbit is hyperbolic. It is not falling toward the sun, it is aiming for it.
It comes from deep interstellar space, from a star system we cannot identify.
When a comet approaches the sun, it heats up. Ice sublimates into gas, creating a massive, glowing tail called a coma.
You look for the tail on your monitor. There is nothing. No gas, no dust, no evaporation. This implies that its surface is ice or rock. You are looking at a spectral signature that resembles processed metal, perhaps a tungsten alloy or a... But the most chilling detail is the light curve. As the object tumbles through the void, its bright natural asteroids are shaped like potatoes. Their rotation is chaotic. This object reflects light.
This suggests a shape that is artificial, extremely flat, like a solar sail, or long and cylindrical, like a fuselage.
Mainstream science calls this an anomaly, but you, thinking like a futurist, see a design. You are seeing a von Neumann probe, a self-replicating spacecraft sent out billions of years ago to map the galaxy.
It is ancient, perhaps older than the Earth itself.
It isn't drifting, it is scanning. And for the first time in history, its sensors have locked onto us. You zoom out from the object itself and look at the bigger picture, the solar system map. In a chaotic universe,
Comets and asteroids usually follow the ecliptic plane, the flat, invisible disk where all the planets orbit the sun.
It's like a highway. Everything moves in the same traffic flow.
But 3I/Atlas ignores the highway. You watch the simulation of its approach vector.
It is diving into our system from the galactic north, cutting through the plane of the planets at a nearly perpendicular angle. NASA calls this a high inclination orbit. But you, analyzing the geometry, see something far more deliberate. Overlay the trajectory of this object with the spinning globe of Earth. Pause the simulation at the exact moment of perihelion. This configuration is where the object is closest to the sun.
The alignment is terrifyingly precise. At its point of maximum energy approach.
Does that coordinate sound familiar? The probability of a random interstellar rock entering our system at this specific angle
And aligning with the most massive geodetic marker on our planet is statistically 0. You are not looking at a random encounter. You are watching a gravitational keyhole maneuver.
Think about how your phone scans a QR code. It needs to align the camera lens with the geometric pattern to unlock the data.
The Great Pyramid, with its 8 sides and quartz-rich core, is the QR code. 3LATLAS is the scanner.
You begin to suspect that the ancient megaliths, Giza, Teotihuacan, Stonehenge, were not just built to mark the seasons. They were placed on specific nodes of a planetary energy grid to be seen from above. They are passive radar reflectors. For thousands of years, they have been silent, waiting for the scanner to pass overhead.
And now, look at the speed. As it dives toward this alignment, it isn't just falling. Calculations show it is making micro-corrections.
Tiny, imperceptible shifts in its vector that ensure the alignment is accurate to within a fraction of a degree.
A rock cannot correct its course.
Only a guidance system can.
The narrative shifts. This isn't an intruder. This is a synchronization event.
The object is syncing its clock with the Earth's clock. It is verifying that the receiver is still active before it begins the data transmission.
Realize that the builders of the pyramids didn't align them to the stars just for religious reasons. They aligned them to the approach vector of this specific visitor.
Now, switch your sensors from optical to the radio spectrum.
You are turning the giant dish of a radio telescope toward the approaching object, expecting the familiar hiss of the cosmos. A comet is a noisy thing. As it melts, it releases ionized gas and water vapor that scream across the radio frequencies.
But 3LATLAS is silent.
You turn up the gain. You scrub through the frequencies. Nothing. This is the silence in the void.
The object is moving at 200,000 miles per hour, tearing through the solar wind, yet it leaves no wake. It generates no static.
This forces you to look at the albedo, the reflectivity of the object. Standard asteroids reflect about 10% to 20% of sunlight.
They are gray, dusty rocks. But your data shows that 3LATLAS has an albedo close to 0.
It absorbs almost every photon of light that hits it.
You are a futurist, so you know what this implies. Nature doesn't build things that absorb 99% of light.
That is a specific engineering trait found in advanced stealth technology. You are looking at a hull coated in metamaterials.
Synthetic composites designed to absorb radar waves and visual light to remain undetected.
Why would a rock need stealth? It wouldn't. But a reconnaissance probe would.
The theory of active camouflage comes into play. If you are sending a drone to observe a primitive civilization,
You don't want them to see you coming. You paint it black. You shape it to deflect radar.
you cool the hull to match the background temperature of space, 2.7 Kelvin, so it doesn't show up on infrared scanners.
Look closer at the spectral analysis. If this were a comet, you would see the chemical signatures of water, carbon dioxide, and dust. But the spectrometer is flatlining on organics. Instead, you are picking up faint, anomalous traces of exotic elements: iridium, osmium.
These are heavy, dense metals used in radiation shielding and high-impact armor.
The terrifying realization hits you. It is not dead rock. It is cold machinery.
The silence isn't an absence of activity. It is thermodynamic masking.
The object is efficiently venting its internal heat in a directed beam away from Earth, hiding its thermal signature.
It has been ghosting us. It has likely been in our system for months, or even years, watching, listening, and recording, and we only detected it now because it wanted to be seen.
now, we move from observation to the hard math. Physics, as we understand it, is a set of unbreakable laws.
Sir Isaac Newton and Johannes Kepler wrote the rules of the road for the solar system centuries ago.
A rock falling through space must obey gravity. It speeds up as it approaches the sun and slows down as it moves away.
It is a ballistic trajectory. It has no choice.
But you are staring at the telemetry data on your screen, and the numbers are screaming a violation. 3LATLAS is breaking the law.
As the object swings around the sun and begins its journey back out into the deep void, it should be decelerating.
The sun's massive gravity is trying to pull it back. But the Doppler radar tells you something else.
The object is accelerating. It is moving faster than gravity allows.
In the case of a normal comet, we call this outgassing. Ice melts, jets of steam shoot out.
And the comet gets a little push, like a primitive rocket. But remember section 1?
There is no tail. There is no gas. There is no mass being ejected to create thrust.
You are witnessing non-gravitational acceleration without a visible propellant.
Mainstream scientists scramble for explanations. They talk about hydrogen icebergs or dust bunnies.
But you, looking through the lens of a futurist, see the signature of a propulsion system. This isn't a rock falling. This is a ship driving. Consider the light sail hypothesis, proposed by Harvard astrophysicists.
If the object is incredibly thin, less than a millimeter thick, but wide like a football field, it could use the physical...
It would be a solar yacht, riding the stellar wind.
This implies a manufacturing capability to create materials thinner than aluminum foil, but strong enough to survive interstellar travel.
Or go deeper into the realm of advanced physics. Look at the vector changes. They are smooth, continuous, and silent.
This suggests a reactionless drive, technology that manipulates inertia itself.
Perhaps it is using an alkyl warp on a microscopic scale, bending the fabric of space-time.
To a caveman, a jet plane defies the laws of nature because a caveman doesn't understand aerodynamics.
To us, 3LATLAS defies the laws of orbital mechanics because we don't understand metric engineering.
The object isn't just drifting away. It performed a delta V maneuver. It gathered energy from our sun, corrected its course,
And is now firing its engines to move to the next target. It treats our star not as a destination, but as a gas station.
And the scariest part? It didn't just speed up to leave. It adjusted its path to ensure it passes close enough to Earth.
You are sitting in the quiet of the control room, watching the telemetry. The object has survived its close encounter with the sun. It has adjusted its speed.
And now, as it crosses the orbital path of Earth, it does the one thing you were terrified it would do. It speaks, but it doesn't speak in Morse code or binary radio waves. Your standard antennas show static. To hear this, you have to look at the Schumann resonance, the electromagnetic heartbeat of the Earth itself.
Suddenly, the global sensors spike. A massive pulse of low-frequency energy hits the planet. It is not a wide broadcast. It is a tight, coherent beam, laser-focused on specific coordinates.
You overlay the signal map on the globe. The beam isn't hitting New York or London.
It is hitting the Giza Plateau in Egypt, the Teotihuacan pyramids in Mexico, and the megalithic sites in the Andes.
This is the awakening signal. You are witnessing handshake protocol.
3I/Atlas is the physical token. The Great Pyramid is the terminal.
Think back to the geology of Giza. We know the King's Chamber is made of red granite containing high concentrations of quartz crystal. We know quartz is piezoelectric. It creates an electric charge when vibrated. For thousands of years, these crystals have been dormant, but now, hit by this specific resonance frequency from the interstellar visitor,
The stones are beginning to sing.
subterranean sensors near the Sphinx pick up a low hum, a vibration rising from the bedrock.
It isn't an earthquake. It is the machine turning on.
You realize the terrifying truth about these ancient structures. They aren't tombs. They aren't even just power plants.
They are deep space transceivers.
They were built to be huge, heavy, and durable because they had to wait thousands of years for this specific signal.
The signal from 3I/Atlas acts like a wake-on-LAN packet sent to a sleeping computer.
It is unlocking the encryption. The static charge inside the pyramid builds up.
The atmosphere above the plateau ionizes.
You aren't just looking at a rock flying through space anymore. You are watching a remote control activating a device. The silence is broken. The grid is live. The question is no longer if they are connected.
The question is, now that the connection is established, what data is being uploaded?
You step back from the screens, the hum of the cooling fans suddenly sounding like a roar in the quiet room.
And now you must confront the most disturbing question of all. Who is on the other end?
You are decoding the identity of the architects. For centuries, ancient texts, from the Sumerian clay tablets to the Book of Enoch,
have whispered about the Watchers, beings who came from the sky, taught humanity. We thought these were myths. We thought they were angels or demons.
But looking at the spectral analysis of 3I/Atlas, you realize we were wrong. They weren't gods, they were engineers.
And 3I/Atlas isn't a chariot. It is an autonomous sentry drone.
Think about the logic of a Type 2 civilization on the Kardashev scale. A civilization capable of harnessing the entire energy of their star.
They would build a network of self-replicating probes, von Neumann machines, and scatter them across the galaxy like seeds.
This object is a check-in mechanism.
It operates on a cycle, perhaps every 3,600 years, or every precession of the equinoxes. It comes to audit the experiment. It scans the atmosphere for isotopes that indicate nuclear technology. It scans the radio spectrum to measure our communications. It pings the pyramids to see if the hardware is still intact.
You realize that the silence of the builders for the last few millennia wasn't abandonment. It was a test phase.
3I/Atlas is the microscope coming down for a closer look.
We were left alone in the Petri dish to see if we would evolve or destroy ourselves.
The terror here isn't an invasion fleet with laser beams. It is the cold, indifferent judgment of an algorithm.
The probe is currently compiling a status report on Humanity 2.0. It is aggregating data on our wars.
It is preparing to send a burst transmission back to the home source, a location likely in the direction of the Pleiad.
The question that should keep you awake at night isn't, are they coming back? It is, What happens if the report says we failed?
In ancient history, when the Watchers were displeased, the stories say they sent a flood to wipe the slate clean.
If 3IS is Atlas in the sky.
You are looking at a cosmic security camera, and the red light just turned on.
You watch the telemetry screen one last time. 3I/Atlas has passed its point of closest approach.
It is now using the sun's gravity to slingshot itself back out into the interstellar dark, accelerating at a speed that no chemical rocket could ever catch. The physical object is leaving.
But the connection remains.
You are witnessing the final handshake. In networking, a handshake is the final step of a protocol,
Where two systems agree on the parameters of the data exchange before the main transfer begins.
You feel a subtle vibration in the floor of the observatory, a tremor that seismologists will later dismiss as a minor tectonic shift.
But you know better. The Earth's ancient machine network has responded.
Data streams from monitoring stations around the globe are flooding your screen.
Magnetic anomalies are spiking over the Bermuda Triangle, the location of submerged megaliths.
The Schumann resonance of the atmosphere has jumped to a frequency never before recorded.
The Great Pyramid isn't just receiving anymore. It is transmitting.
You realize that 3I/Atlas didn't just come to inspect us. It came to perform a system update.
Think about the concept of panspermia, the theory that life exists throughout the universe and is distributed by space dust, meteoroids, and asteroids. Now, upgrade that to technological panspermia. What if the seed isn't biological, but informational?
The probe has beamed a compressed packet of data into the planetary grid. It is a time capsule of knowledge, equations for zero-point energy, maps of safe wormholes, the code to cure our biological decay. But it is encrypted. It is stored within the crystalline structure of the ancient stones,
waiting for us to reach the level of consciousness required to download it. Or perhaps the handshake was a key turning in a lock. For thousands of years, Earth might have been under a quarantine protocol, isolated from the galactic community, until we matured.
The arrival of 3LATLAS and I think you look at the fading signal of the object on the monitor. It is heading toward the constellation of Lyra. It has done its job. It has bridged the gap between the architects of the past and the children of the future.
The machine of Earth is no longer dormant. The lights are coming on. The hum is getting louder. We are no longer just observing the universe. The universe has just formally acknowledged us.
You walk out of the observatory and look up at the night sky. It looks the same as it did yesterday, but everything has changed.
The silence of the cosmos is no longer empty.
We spent decades scanning the radio waves for a message from ET, looking for a sign. We didn't.
And the messenger was already on its way. 3I/Atlas has forced us to confront a reality.
We are the caretakers of a dormant engine, built by a civilization far greater than our own.
The probe is gone, vanishing into the void. But it left the door ajar. The ancient machines are humming.